Welcome back to Cooks with Books. Today we'll be making a few side dishes perfect for fall meals or even Thanksgiving: cornbread and cranberry sauce.
The recipe for homemade cornbread calls for 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of yellow cornmeal, 2/3 of a cup of granulated sugar, but you can use less, 1 teaspoon of salt, 3½ teaspoons of baking powder, 1/3 of a cup of a mild oil or melted butter, 1 large egg, and 1 cup of milk.
To make homemade cranberry sauce, all you need is 1 12-ounce bag of cranberries, 1 cup of sugar, 1 strip of orange zest, juice from the orange, and 1 cinnamon stick, but that's optional. Step 1. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees.
The first step in making cornbread is to mix your dry ingredients. We're going to start with a cup of flour, regular flour, a cup of cornmeal, and 2/3 of a cup of sugar. Then we add a teaspoon of salt. Be careful, you don't want to get too much. And then 3½ teaspoons of baking powder, which will make it rise. So I'm still using the teaspoon measure. I'm going to do 3½ of those. 1, 2, 3, and then switch to the half to make sure that I have just the right amount. Okay. We're going to mix the flour, cornmeal, sugar, salt, and baking powder all together in a big bowl. And in the second bowl, we're going to mix the wet ingredients. 1/3 of a cup of oil. You can also use butter. A cup of milk. And 1 egg. I'm going to mix the wet ingredients, make sure that egg is all beaten up inside the milk and oil. And when we think that that's done enough, then we can add it to the dry ingredients, the flour and the cornmeal and the sugar. Now we're going to mix the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. But don't mix too much. They always say in the directions, mix just until blended. This is going to be delicious when it's done. Now that we've mixed the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients, we're going to pour it into a greased pan. Now the cool thing about this is that you can use a round pan or a square pan, or you can even put it into a cast iron skillet or put it into a muffin tin and make corn muffins. Our oven has preheated to 400 degrees, and we're going to put the cornbread in to bake for 20 to 25 minutes until it's a nice golden brown and a toothpick comes out clean. We just showed you how to make cornbread for your Thanksgiving dinner. Now we're going to show you how to make cranberry sauce from scratch instead of the stuff out of the cans. First, we take a bag of cranberries and we put it in the pan. We're going to add water to the cranberries in the pan, as well as a cup of sugar. Cranberries are very bitter, so you really need to add sugar whenever you cook with them. And then we just wait for them to boil. Berries are starting to bubble and boil, so we're going to add some orange zest. This is a zester, and zest is just a little bit of the skin of the orange or lemon. It adds a nice citrusy flavor to the cranberry sauce. We added the zest to the cranberries, and now we're going to add the juice from the orange. That will also add some very nice flavor. When you're making cranberry sauce, you can put in any other kind of fruit you like blueberries or strawberries or apples. My husband likes pineapple, so when he makes cranberry sauce, he always stirs in some cut up pineapple. When your cranberries have cooked down to the consistency that you want, let them cool, and then pour your beautiful cranberry sauce into a bowl for serving on your Thanksgiving table. And while you're waiting for your cornbread to cook, here's a joke for you. What did the family serve after Grandma sat on the turkey? Squash. Here's another one. What smells the best at a Thanksgiving dinner? Your nose. So enjoy your cornbread and your cranberry sauce and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. The timer has gone off and we're going to take our cornbread out of the oven. Always use pot holders or let an adult help you.
Here's a selection of November books that you can check out in the children's room. 1621, A New Look at Thanksgiving by Catherine O'Neill Grace and Margaret M. Bruhack. Eating the Plates, A Pilgrim Book of Food and Manners by Lucille Recht Penner. In November by Cynthia Rylant. The Firefighter's Thanksgiving by Mary Beth Boltz. And Thank You, Sarah, The Woman Who Saved Thanksgiving by Lori Haltz Anderson. And all of these books are available to be checked out from the children's room right now.
That's all for today. Come back next month and see us again at Cooks with Books.